y'all, so we back at it again today. Yesterday I took a much needed day off and kind of just got some rest and relaxation. If y'all haven't already, please go check out my video on the Air Jordan 5 Grapes. I uploaded that review a couple of days ago, so if you could go check that video out, show some love, I would appreciate it. Thank you. So we all know the 4th of July is coming up, and a lot of people plan to be, cooking out, barbecuing and things like that. Family getting together and, just kind of celebrating the 4th of July. So if you needed like, maybe some shoes that you wanted to, show off, during the 4th or whatever, we got you covered today. So today I don't want to put them in any type of ranking or anything. I just want to, kind of show them to you, go over the explanation on why they would be a good 4th of July shoe, and trying to see what everybody else plans on wearing for the 4th. So over the past couple of years, Jordan Brand and Nike tend to market their releases around the 4th of July. They don't always give us a 4th of July themed shoe, but they try to plan something big or like a major release kind of around that holiday to try to get people out to, to buy the shoe or whatever. But, I'm going to just go over, some shoes that would make a really, good 4th of July sneaker, I guess. I'm not going to put them in any type of ranking, like I said before. I'm just going to show the shoe and give my explanation on, why it makes a good 4th of July sneaker. These 4th of July themed sneakers, I know I'm not going to be the first one to come up with this concept. There have been plenty of other people that came before me that thought of this and, kind of had this idea in mind, but, I just been thinking about it today, I'm thinking about the holiday, the vacation break, and just wanted to, incorporate maybe some sneakers to go along with it. So I have a total of 5 sneakers that I'm thinking of to, kind of be in contention for 4th of July sneaker, but 2 of them I don't physically own, so I'm just gonna put an image up on the screen and kind of go over why it should be the sneaker that you choose for 4th of July. I think the 4th of July release for this year will be the Pure Money 3s. I'm not really too much interested in the Pure Money 3s. I think I had the Pure Money 4s back in like 2017 when they released a couple of years back. Yeah, just an all white 3. It doesn't do it for me. So the only all white sneaker that I need is just an all white Air Force One. So yeah, the Pure Money 3s is sad to say, but I think those will be left in stores. People won't be rushing out to buy those. They could have came with a better concept for the 4th of July, something better than like the Pure Money 3s. But if that's all they have, then that's all they have. So, but yeah, it's too much coming out this year to stop and focus on an all white Air Jordan 3. So the first shoe that I had in mind for the 4th of July is I recently reviewed this shoe on my channel, and this is a recent pickup. The first shoe that I had in mind is the Ferrari 14s. I've been over this conversation before with the bright and vibrant shoes during the summer. They go well, they pop, they stand out, they're flashy. If you're wearing this at a cookout or a barbecue, it could be something, that could kind of like spark a conversation or something like, where'd you get those from? Or, how much did they cost or something like that? Or, it's just the material on here. You just have to be careful, wearing it, you're eating your food or something like that and something, drips and falls on the shoe. It's an all over suede shoe, so it's not going to be easy to clean or get out. So, before you step out or, put these on feet, you just got to make sure that you're protecting them, spray them down with whatever you have, any kind of shoe cleaner that you have, just, put whatever you need to put on them, you know, to protect the material on here, because, you know, it won't be an easy clean getting the stuff out. And first shoe for the 4th of July, Ferrari 14. This next shoe I don't physically own anymore. I had the shoe, I purchased it when I was overseas. I shipped it back to the States with me when I came back over here. It is the Jordan 7 Alternate Olympics. If I can find a picture of it, like in my phone somewhere, I'll put it up on the screen. But it's just a red, white, and blue Jordan 7. When I was over there, I think they released that shoe during the Olympics. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, yeah, the Olympics was held in 2016, but that's the time frame when I was over there. But yeah, I picked that shoe up when I was overseas, and I brought it back to the States with me, and I wore it, you know, into the ground. I wore it to the point that it was falling apart. It's not like the original Olympics, which we are due for a retro any day now, you know, sometime soon. But, you know, it's a, you know, nice placeholder until we get those. I don't think that that shoe came with any added accessories. It was just the shoe itself. It did come in those what is it, a black box with the white Jumpman and the like hinge style lid. I guess that's what they were putting the Retro 7s in back in the day. But yeah, that was an overseas pickup, and, you know, I brought it back with me, and, you know, I held on to it as long as I could, but yeah, it wouldn't go anymore. It just kind of started to crumble and fall apart. But yeah, that would make, you know, a good 4th of July. This next one I do own. We are due for a retro sometime soon. It is the True Blue 3s. This is the 2016 pair that came out. I did not purchase this in 2016. I had to go back and purchase it to kind of complete the Retro 3 set. You know, I was seeing that I was picking up all the rest of the OG3s, and, you know, I needed this one to complete the set. But one thing about the 2016 True Blue 3s is it wasn't a good release. It's not a good shoe. It's really bad quality. It's stiff. It's hard to break in. It wasn't a good release. And back in the day, I think they were charging $225 just for the, you know, the Nike Air on the back, you know. The releases prior, I think they had the Jumpman on the back, so this was the first time that they put Nike Air on the True Blue 3s. But yeah, the price didn't match the quality of the shoe, but it's just a very stiff shoe. Like I said before, we are due for a retro of these. You know, they need to bring these back with a more slimmer down cut in the sock liner up here. I know this is pretty thick and pretty padded, so they need to slim this down, you know, get the shape of the toe box right, and, you know, then we can officially complete all of the retro. So this next one, I hate that I keep, you know, putting the same style shoe in the same silhouette, you know, on the list, but it makes a perfect 4th of July sneaker. It has that theme going for it, that patriotic theme, red, white, and blue. It is the Trophy Room 7s. So this was a collab with Trophy Room, the store in Orlando, Florida, and Jordan Brand. As you know, that store is owned by his son, Marcus Jordan. When they do a collab with Trophy Room, you know, they don't miss for the most part. I remember a couple of years back, they had the Trophy Room 5s, and they had the Trophy Room 5s Friends and Family, and both of those 5s are, you know, reselling for a crazy amount. You know, I probably will never even touch a pair, but you know, I have the 7s, and If I wanted to go back to, I could go back to last year and get the Trophy Room lows as well, the ones. But as you all know, I don't wear Jordan 1 lows. So, yeah. But, you know, back to this shoe, it makes the perfect 4th of July sneaker. It has the red, white, and blue going for it. It is very patriotic. It came with spare laces. It has the blue laces, a pair of cell laces, and a pair of red. One more thing about the shoe before moving on to the next shoe. I just wanted to show you something, show you guys something. This right here. So, you know, tell me that doesn't scream 4th of July right there. The different color patterns in the sneaker. Yeah. And also the bottom of it, you know, kind of patriotic, reminds you of like, you know, the flag, I guess. So, yeah, Trophy Room 7s. Yeah, they make a great 4th of July sneaker. So, the number one sneaker that would make a good 4th of July shoe, I guess to wear or to have on the 4th of July is none other than the Olympic 7s, the original Olympic 7s. That shoe last released, I think, in 2012. It is long overdue for a retro. You know, I put the alternate Olympics, you know, on the list ahead of it because that's what that shoe was based off of. You know, the Trophy Rooms, you know, something similar to the Olympics, but it's not the Olympics. Yeah, we need that shoe back, and we need it, you know, true to form. So the number one shoe for the 4th of July is the Olympic 7. So the Olympic 7s were an original colorway. The sneaker itself released in 1992, along with the other, I think, 5 original colorways. I think you have the Cardinals, the Hares, the Bordeaux's, the Raptors, and the Olympics. I think it's 5, but you know, we've gotten some of the 7s back, but we need all of the original 7s back, including those Olympics. You know, the next time those release, you know, I need 2 pairs, you know, minimum. But the year, I think when it released in 2012, I was collecting at the time, but yeah, I just kind of missed out on that one. You know, I was collecting back then, but just wasn't able to pick it up. But when it re-releases again or retros again, you know, I'll be ready for it this time. And yeah, I'm not missing out this time. But you know, I have some things, you know, similar to that shoe in my collection. Like I showed you, you know, the Trophy Rooms, the alternate Olympics. You know, I had shoes in the past that kind of were similar or based off that shoe, but yeah, it's just no substitute for, you know, an original colorway. Okay, so that about wraps things up for today. I gave you guys a solid list or some suggestions for, you know, the 4th of July sneaker. You know, let me know what you guys plan on wearing for the 4th of July. Is there any special sneaker in your collection that you know, want to pull out or you want to wear? You know, my list or my suggestions, you know, what I have is, you know, True Blue 3s, Ferrari 14s, or Trophy Room 7s. And, you know, kind of like an honorable mention, the alternate Olympics, or, you know, the original Olympics. And like I tell you guys, all work is easy work when you're doing what you love to do. Y'all stay blessed, and I'll catch y'all next time.